7 is WCXO, Carlisle.
This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports, powered by the Union Banner at Union Banner on Facebook. Your sports teams, your community, your radio station. Presents Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin' Sports is powered by Anne-Marie Tabin at First Bank in Breeze. Contact Anne-Marie for your mortgage product needs. Talkin' Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. Trenton Processing. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin' Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin' Sports. Rip here in the Birdwatch and Health Mart studio for a Monday. Yes, sir, indeed. Monday and Wednesday, 6 until 7. Saturday mornings, 9 to 10. Coming up tonight, we've got a big touch of Centralia. First with an Irvington native. Pro Baseball's Brian Dinkelman, probably from Iowa. And then later on, we're all for Centralia Orphans football and their head coach, Bobby Bruneisen. Plus, as always, on a Monday, it's time for the Body by Boyd Little Augie's Pizza Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week. But we shall begin at the very, 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 very top with scores and stuff brought to you by Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning right here in Carlisle. It's your hometown source for residential and commercial work. How about starting with Major League Wcxo? Who knew? Yeah, who saw that coming? Now do it again, I hope. Cardinals may need that. In fact, they will from somebody's. Anyway, last night, I hate Sunday night baseball, but Adam Wainwright pitched 2-hit ball over 6 frames for his first win in 5 months. Yeah, he's been out a while. Marcell Ozuna homered, and the Cardinals did indeed salvage the finale of a 4-game series with the Dodgers. They KO'd him last night 5-0, and that snapped a season-high 4-game losing streak and moved the Redbirds into a tie for the second National League wild card with L.A., who they slipped a half game behind the Rockies for the NL West lead. It's getting Colorado and L.A. play each other, I think, for 3 beginning tonight. Wainwright now 2-3. Well, he's making his second start since missing almost 4 months with right elbow inflammation and other stuff. He struck out a season-high 9. Did he throw a fastball except for a few out of the strike zone? It was all those Uncle Charlies, man. He earned his first victory since April 16th through 101 pitches for those who care. Cardinals reliever Bud Norris left the game with a blister on. Okay, I'll buy that. Jordan Hicks, he was pumped. Anyway, he pitched for the first time in a week, and he finished the 7th and also worked the 8th. Clown Carlos completed the 4-hit shutout a night after wow, that game Saturday. What a shelling the Cardinals took. They got beat up 17-4. It was not Purdy. Puig with 3 home runs, 2 the night before. Here's an idea. Just keep throwing them right down the middle of the plate to him. Just bullseye. Just set it up on the tee. Come on. It's the Redbirds and Braves from Dixie tonight. Miles Michaelis goes against Mike Fultonevich, and that starts right around 6:35. Miles 15-4. Mike 11-9. He's a good young pitcher. Could be a good one from Atlanta. So the standings right now in the National League Central, it's the Cubbies and Brew Crew, 2.5 separate them. Cardinals 5.5 back for the division. There's 11, 12, 13 games left for about everybody. And then the wild card, that picture, the Brewers are up by 3 over the Redbirds and the Dodgers. They're tied for that second wild card spot. The Yanks and Oakland look home free in the wild card distribution site on the American side, and the American League is just teams are dusting. Houston and Oakland, there's a challenge there yet. I mean, within reason, the A's are 4.5 back in the West, but Atlanta looks good and so forth. And tonight's important games, Milwaukee's home for the Redlegs. The Cubbies are out in the desert, Colorado and L.A., and involving someone closer to home, of course, Trevor Richards will dial it up in about 10 minutes against the Nats. Trevor 3-9 and 4.85. He could use a good outing. It's been a struggle as of late, but again, a good rookie season, and maybe he'll get a taste of a victory tonight. I kind of like this. Mets third baseman David Wright, he's going to return to the majors for the team's final homestand. And he expects after that, that's it, he expects to be finished playing after making one more start in the team's second-to-last game of the season. Wright's going to be activated for the homestand beginning September 25th and start at third, right at that hot corner, September 29th against the Fish. He's had multiple surgeries on his shoulder, back, and neck, so he doesn't think he's going to be able to play again. He hasn't played for the Mets, actually, in the Bigs since May 27th of 2016. He's been at St. Lucie, Class A St. Lucie, and AAA Las Vegas this year. Didn't do that well, but I suppose he got through mostly pain-free. So he's going to give it a go one more game, and he'll get a round of love and applause. And he still has a lot of money coming, so don't worry. He has salaries of $20 million owed him for this year, $15 million next season, and $12 million in 2020. So overall, he's set. Pedro Strop is not set as far as being on the mound for the Cubs. He is out for the rest of the regular season. Yu Darvish had arthroscopic surgery. I don't even know if the Cubs fans remember him. Yankees all-star closer Aroldis Chapman could return this week from nearly a month on the disabled list. And Trevor Bauer of the Tribe, he moved a little closer to pitching the postseason. He threw 40 pitches off the mound inside an empty Progressive Field on Saturday. Boy, he's been a good pitcher for Cleveland. Did you see Juan Soto? He became the youngest player to steal a trio of bases in the game when he accomplished the feat against Atlanta on Saturday. He surpassed the mark set by Oakland's Ricky Henderson. If you don't believe me, ask Ricky. He was 20 years, 241 days in 1979. He did it against Cleveland. But Soto's an exciting young player. I think we talked about Albert last week, right? Coming to St. Louis. Player or not, he'll be ready. He'll duct tape himself up, whatever it takes. This is kind of interesting, and I happen to agree with Don Mattingly. The Marlins manager said baseball should consider limiting roster sizes in the final month of this. It's getting out of hand. It's been this way forever. But he said expanded rosters change, and it's true the fundamental nature of the games in that last month of the regular season. And what MLB should do, according to Donnie Baseball, is name 25 active players for each game while relegating inactive players to a taxi squad of sorts. And there are just too many. You can literally, some clubs could bring in a lefty to face every other guy, and that's crazy, and it's always been that way, but it doesn't make it right. The Memphis Redbirds, get rid of that. The Memphis Redbirds did it again. I did Rip Sports Clip on this today. The Cardinals AAA club, they used some pitching, and a pair of round trippers to foil the Fresno Grizzlies Saturday night, and that led to their second consecutive Pacific Coast League championship. It was the Redbirds' fourth overall banner since, let's see, we had 2000, 09, and 17. And Stubby Clapp, he's either managed or played for three of those championship teams. Of course, he's piloted Memphis to the title last season and this season. And Stubby's crew, they won despite a massive turnover. A franchise record, 66 different players appeared on the Redbirds roster this campaign. 6 went to St. Louis for their major league debuts. 18 appeared at Busch at some point. 22 players made their 3A debuts at AutoZone Park. And the Redbirds will play for the AAA championship, the national championship in effect, tomorrow night against Columbus, the same as they did last year. And they lost it's kind of a bonus game. You want to win, but it's not the end of it's a one-game series. Good luck to him, though. Of course, I hope they snap that off. Stubby Clapp, where will he be? Toronto with the Jays next? I mean, I don't know. In college football, Illinois lost 25-19 to South Florida Saturday. It came down to the end. They blew it. They're 2-1. Oh, my goodness. Mizzou edged Purdue 40-37. We had some points up in that, baby. The SIU Salukis slide to 1-2. They fell. That was a numbers game. 48-44 was the final in favor of SEMO. Oh, yeah, Alabama. They remember Ole Miss and SIU a week ago when the Salukis led at half in an arena football type game, and Ole Miss finally came out on top. Everybody was. The SEC team's going to be licking their chops on Mississippi. Well, Ole Miss scored the first touchdown last week, and that was it. That was the end of it. After that, Alabama took charge and claimed a 62-7 mop-up of Mississippi. Oh, goodness. LSU just slipped past Auburn. Alabama, of course, still number one. 58 of the votes. We have 5 Big Ten teams among the top 25 yet. A couple of them are on shaky ground a little bit. Oh, the Redskins lost yesterday at D.C., and that ended they say, the half-century home sellout streak. But the announced attendance was 57,013. There were 25,000, at least 25,000 empty seats there. And I have a feeling there was some more I've just seen some highlights. I don't watch the games. I know last year they didn't show the crowd that often, but I can't imagine. The LA Rams beat Arizona 34-0 in the battle of former St. Louis teams. Oh, my goodness. Josh Gordon's troubled tenure with the Browns has ended. They traded him to Bill Belichick's Patriots. I think they got some deflated footballs for him, and that's about it. Get this. Buffalo, Bill Belichick and Gordon, that's no marriage. Bills cornerback Vontae Davis, didn't he play at Illinois? He abruptly retired at halftime of yesterday's loss to the Chargers. He just didn't come back out of the locker room. It is embarrassing to play at Orchard Park and always lose, so I get that. I'm going to have a sports clip on him tomorrow. He did at halftime. The Blues, of course, are back. They are back on that ice. They slipped back on Friday. They've opened training camp. They begin their exhibition season tomorrow night in Big D. Jake Allen not on hand. Fabry is, that's good. Effingham native Luke Opilka is not with continued hip problems. Too bad for him, and he's been on Talking Sports probably 3 times now. The PGA was idled this past weekend. In her 18th year on tour, Angela Stanford became a major tournament champion Sunday as she won the Evian Championship. This is an LPGA play. And on the seniors circuit, Paul Broadhurst won the Allied Challenge for his PGA Tour champions. Did they word that right? No one. I should write all of this. Anyway, it was his 3rd win of the season on the Old Guys Tour. NASCAR's event at Vegas. It was hot. It was hot there. And the winner was Brad Keselowski. He's won 3 consecutive events. That guy can run 'em, man. Okay, that's scores and stuff. Brought to you by Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning right here in Carlisle, the hometown source for residential and commercial work. Up ahead, just around the block, Brian Dinkelman, later on Bobby Brenneisen, and stuck in between, the Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week. Stay by that transistor.
Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Nordyke Funeral Home is thinking about your future and offers secure, pre-planned funeral arrangements, relieving the emotional burden for those you love, allowing you to express your own wishes, and assures peace of mind with financial concerns when your family needs it the most. Nordyke Funeral Home has 5 locations in Albers, Aveston, Breeze, New Baden, and now Carlisle. Visit NordikeFuneralHome.com or call 588-3533. Striving to earn your family's confidence and trust, Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations.
Remember what it was like to expect the unexpected?
I never realized it was so complex.
Guess what? The feeling's back.
You're on Max.
Hello again, everyone. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio on this Monday. Let's toe the line on the Johnston Jewelers guest line for Iowa and Cedar Rapids Colonels batting coach, Irvington native Brian Dinkelman. Dink, welcome back.
How we doing this evening, Rip?
Hey, doing pretty well, and another season has just recently closed for you and the Colonels. It ended a week ago Sunday. You made the playoffs again. You were in the Class Midwest League playoffs in the semis, West Division finals, I guess, but it closed just a little shy of that ultimate goal, but you did well, didn't you?
Yeah, season finished last week. We had a good season, especially the second half, and made the playoffs and snuck by our first-round opponent, Beloit, and then ran at Peoria in the second round. They got us 2-0 in the second round, but it was a good season, though.
The Peoria Chiefs, the Cardinals Class A team, they struck you down 2 in a row. They must have, you probably saw this pitcher earlier, Jake Dahlberg. The Cardinals are pretty deep in pitching, and he's a lefty, huh? And he just zipped you, no doubt.
Yeah, he's a little bit older for this league. He's 23 or 24, yeah, but he pitched. We faced him once during the regular season and then in the playoffs, and both times we faced him, he took it to us pretty good. Fastball, changeup guy, and just didn't put a whole lot of good at bats against us, so we had a tough time with him.
Kept you off pace a little bit with that changeup, huh? If you got a good one, you're in good stead.
Yeah, you got a good changeup in this league. You can go pretty far.
The Chiefs struck for a 5-run third, and that proved to be the clinching game of that best of 3. You just never had an answer for him. You did win that opening series, though. You played one before that, as you said, against Beloit and the Bats, which you really love, of course, as the hitting coach. They were pretty explosive in that brief 2-game affair. Yeah,
we had a good series against Beloit. We went up to their place for game 1 and scored 10 runs, I believe, in the first game. So good to get that first win, and then we scored a few more in the second game and able to get by them the first 2 games. Then the Bats kind of disappeared the second round. How
they do this, think you go whoever goes to the for 1 game away and then 2 home, whichever way it's.
Yeah, the home team gets 2 games, or the team with the higher seed gets 2 games at home, and the one team at the other 1 game at the other.
So you didn't win the title or reach that championship series, but in any league, and this is a good league, this Class A, it's quite a coup just to even reach to get into the post, to reach that second season.
Yeah, it's always exciting. It's a good experience for the players to get a little taste of playoff baseball. So as they get along further in their career, they have that experience of playing in the postseason, and it's good for the guys to have some success.
16 teams. I mean, it's filled up, and 4 teams qualify in each division. And the first half wasn't. We had you on then, I think, just before the end of the first half, and you took off in that second. But the first half was a little tough, 32-37. You mounted a nice comeback though in the hot summer months.
Yeah, with the way our roster shook out after spring training, he thought we'd be pretty good in the first half. We had a lot of big prospects, but we were a young team that first half, and this took us a while to get gelled together. And then finally in the second half, I think the guys gained a little bit more experience, kind of understood what kind of players they were, and then we had a nice second half.
Yeah, 20 above the 500 mark. You were the best in the West, and actually you were tops overall, weren't you?
Yeah, I think we did have the best record second half of the whole league.
Yeah, you just edged out Bowling Green, who they ended up winning the championship. I saw over Peoria.
Yeah, they had a nice team. We always play against them during spring training because they are the Tampa Bay affiliate, and we play a lot of games against them during spring training. So yeah, they have a really good team. Always have good pitching. I know they had a nice regular season, won like 80 games or something like that. So they had a real good team all season. I'm not surprised they won the whole thing.
And you know, Dink, and I know you can't. They won. Bowling Green ended up with 90 wins. The most.
Did they get 90?
They got and Lansing. I got it right in front of me. You're not privy to that. It's right in front of me. They had 90, which was best throughout the minor leagues period. And then Lansing had 80. Quad Cities 81, and you're fourth there. But so some really and Tampa Bay. My goodness, they keep feeding the players. You mentioned them there, and I know the Cardinals AAA, the Memphis Redbirds won the Pacific Coast League. They're going to play Durham tomorrow, right? Yeah, for the national championship, the one game title there. So, and that's a Tampa Bay. They've got they're stockpiling, aren't they?
Yeah, they do a good job with their minor league system, and they always seem to bring those guys up to the big leagues. Cause, their big league team isn't big on signing free agents, so they have to help produce their players within. They do a very good job with that. And I mean, the big league team's having a nice season this year, so they do a good job developing their players in the minor leagues and winning some ball games and get those guys to the big leagues.
So when you all shake it out, this season went pretty much as last year, pretty much on that same path. You came just shy of the championship finals, but again, I don't think there are too many complaints. You always want to keep going, of course.
Well, yeah, you always want to win ball games. It's good for the players to get some experience in the playoffs. And I know a lot of our guys we had at the beginning of the season, a lot of them, if not half, moved up to Fort Myers for the second half of the season, and they ended up winning the championship in the Florida State League. So,
good.
Good for some of those guys got that experience down there, and they won a title and got themselves a ring. So that was good for them.
Oh, those rings are good, huh?
Yeah, it's nice to have a ring. I'm still waiting to get mine, so maybe next year.
Let's see how close did you come at any of those stops?
And when I was in Elizabeth in my first year, we was in the finals and got beat the last game.
Oh, really?
To Danville, but that was about as close as we got.
Okay. And tell everybody again. It is a little confusing, but there's a first half, the second half. The overall really doesn't figure there, but just kind of break it down again. How you qualify.
Yeah, in the Midwest League, there's 2 divisions, 8 teams in each division. They do it by half. So the division winner each half makes the playoffs, and then the second place team for each half make the playoffs. So there's 4 teams from each division. So 2 and 2 from the first half, 2 from the first half, and 2 from the second half. So 8 of the 16 qualify for the playoffs in the Midwest League.
And let's see, I believe it's done this way throughout the minors, except when you get to AAA, isn't it? Are there anybody else just the one complete season?
AAA does complete season. Right. I believe there's a couple double A.
Are there?
A couple of AA leagues that do the full season, but A ball teams usually just do halves for first and second.
And it makes sense with all. Oh my goodness! Do you have any idea how many guys are on your team this year?
We was counting that up the other day. There's only about 5 or 6 that were with us at the end of the season that started with us. So
probably
you're looking at 19, 20 new guys that can't do that at some point.
I know last year one of the teams, it was just remarkable how many. And this year, Memphis, because it's just happened, I'm quite aware of it now, they had a franchise record, 66 different players on their roster.
Yeah, get those frequent flyer miles flying them back and forth.
So that's tough. You got to buy a program. It really does causes a lot of extra work for you, though, doesn't it, Dick? I mean, you're working with new guys all the time.
It does at times. If you know the guys or had them before, if they've kind of been back and forth a little bit, you kind of know them or talk to some of the other coaches who have had them in either level above or below and get a good feeling for them or see them during spring training. So it might take just a few days to get used to them or know them, but not too hard.
A lot of reports. You keep track of each other at the other sites through A, low A, high, double A, and all that stuff. You're always in constant communication.
Yeah, we keep in touch with the other guys, and just to make sure to see how our guys are doing, or if somebody's coming up new to us from the lower levels, we stay in contact just to see what they've been working on or what their plans have been with that guy to get them going and help them out as much as we can while they're here.
But you did how many do you think you lost to? Did anybody come up to make it as far as triple A, possibly beyond a pitcher? So
I know a couple went to double A. We had one guy we had one went straight from here to double A. I don't think anybody made it to triple A this year, though.
Okay. And those draftees, probably saw a few of them from June?
Yeah, we did have a few. Yeah, we had Trevor Larnick. He was our first-round pick this year. He went to E-Town for a couple weeks, then he finished with us for the last month. And then our second-round pick was a catcher out of UNC Wilmington. He came straight here after the draft. And then we had another couple guys from Texas Tech and Texas A&M. Middle infield duo came here, and a couple pitchers. So we had 5 or 6 guys draft this season that ended up here at the end of the season. That's good. And now the Minnesota Twins organization at the very top, they have somewhat of a semblance, somewhat of an idea about these the newbies and how they're going to fare, maybe even long term for a couple of them. Right. Yeah. These new guys they draft, they go out and scout them before and put their heads together and decide who they like, and so they know a lot about them, and get them signed and get them on the field and let them start playing and gain some experience with professional baseball. Your Colonels could hit all season, and I know you piled on a nice average, a team average last year again, Dink, so you're doing great. Congratulations on that. From what I saw, your club third in the league out of the 16 teams in average is where the top markers set. Yeah, we had a nice season as far as swinging the bats. We hit for power also, which was good, average and power, so it's a good combination to have. Some of these guys are young and can swing the bat really well. That's why they came here to start, and hopefully they can still continue on their progress and come big leaguers somewhere down the road. Most of the top teams could hit, no surprise, huh? Bowling Green, 274, and then Peoria, 267. You're just 2 little slips behind. King County was thrown in there, but also Beloit. And, yeah, you bashed 113 home runs. That's second to Lake County. I'm not sure how well they did, but they showed a little power, huh? Yeah, we had some guys with some power. We had a couple guys, big power potential or whatever. So it was good to see everybody hit well this season, because as you move up, power is part of the game now. It's a big part of it. So guys have to be able to hit for doubles and home runs and stuff. So good for those guys. Lake County didn't have a very good season, but they did drill some over the fences. Well, who were 1 or 2 guys that really topped off your hitting charts? I see this, and you tell me if he was with you at the end. Probably not. Alex, is it Kirilloff or? Yeah, Kirilloff. He was with us to start the season. He's probably the best hitter I've seen in the 4 years I've been doing this. Really? He was our first round pick back in 2016 out of high school out of Pennsylvania. Then he missed all of last season because he had Tommy John. So then he came back this year. He was a little worried to see how he's doing missing a full season, but he didn't skip a beat. He had an unbelievable first half for us here, and then he went down to Fort Myers at the All-Star break and continued that down there. He ended up hitting, 350 with 20 home runs and 100 RBIs for the full season combined. So he was the real deal. He had a really nice season. Well, he kept up the pace down there then too, didn't he? I mean, he had 13 and 56 with you. It hit 333, so he didn't level off. That's really good to see. We got a counter there. Yeah, that was good to see when he went down to Fort Myers because the Florida State League's not usually known as a hitter's league, and he went down there and did exactly what he did up here. So that was good to see. So hopefully keeps that up, and he'll be in the big leagues the next year or two. Jose Miranda, I believe we've talked about him before. Was he with you about the whole season? For most of the season. He got promoted to Fort Myers about middle to end of July. So he was here most of the year. Yeah. Well, he stacked up nicely then, too, with you. Yeah, he got off to a slow start. He's from Puerto Rico, and I think the cold weather for the first month of the season kind of played with him a little bit. And then about middle of May, he got hot and started swinging the bat like we know he can. And he had a really nice end of the first half, beginning the second half for us, and then he went down to Fort Myers and did well down there also. But yeah, he's another guy who can swing the bat really well.
That's what you want to see, and he led the way in ribbies with 72. And pitching isn't the only thing you know about pitching is you could hit it, Dink. But who were one or two of your guys who kind of led the way there as far as starting pitchers go?
Yeah, we had Brusdar Gratterall. He's from Venezuela. He was up here for a couple months. Young kid, only 19, but starting pitcher who throws about 96 to 100 on average and sits there consistently for 5-6 innings. Still working on his off-speed stuff a little bit, but he was pretty impressive while I was here, and then he went down to Fort Myers also for the last month or two.
And Randy Dobnak?
Yep. College guy. He was signed as a non-drafted free agent 2 years ago, I believe. But yeah, he competes really well. Throws a lot of strikes. He's out of West Virginia. Did a nice job for us, and he started game 2 for us in the playoffs and threw 7 complete innings, no runs or whatever. So he did a really nice job for us.
Great. So the team's pitching really did a nice job too, and that's why you end up having a successful season. So Brian Dinkelman, Dink is with us, Centralia High grad, McKendree grad, and so the Twins just with the Colonels itself. I don't know if they take this team by team or whatever. They're more or less looking for talent throughout the organization as a whole, I guess, when they grade and whatever. But they have to be pretty happy with the Colonels accomplished going to the playoffs and giving a good run, huh?
Yeah, with our major league team right now having a tough season, it was good for some of our younger affiliates with us and the Miracle and even Elizabethton to have some guys do well, and all 3 made the playoffs. So hopefully the future for the Twins team next year or two is bright with some of these guys getting their way up to the big leagues and help them up there. Yeah,
I was really you brought up the parent club, the Twins, and I was very surprised. I thought they were going to have a nice season and probably collide and compete with the Cleveland Indians for that Central Division, but they never really, I don't think, ever got into a decent stride outside of beating the Cardinals maybe 2 in a row.
Yeah, they had a tough go. They, everybody was picking them to compete with Cleveland, like you said, for the division. Just never really got on track. They signed 3 or 4 free agent guys this offseason, and I just don't know if the chemistry wasn't there or something. It just never seemed to click, and they had a few injuries, which got to stay healthy in this game to win some ball games, and just never got going. So, hopefully they can get some guys for next year, and some of these other guys can step up in the big leagues and see if we can turn it around next season.
Highlands Jake Odorizzi was one of those come over, and honestly, he had a very disappointing season. He was terrific his last time out, and Lance Lynn didn't do much. He was one of those caught. Boy, you really, as a pitcher, for most guys, that's why you need a full spring training. I mean, after a couple of months, he seemed to settle in a little bit. Now he's doing pretty decent with the Yankees.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this before. It just seems like the guys that held out a long time for spring training and didn't get their work in were slow out of the gate and had a tough time going. So I don't know if that'll affect the market going forward. But yeah, it just seemed like the guys that signed for the free agency this year just never seemed to get quite going with the team this year.
I just read, maybe even I heard him talk, but Joe Mauer, do you think he's going to retire? He did a super job again this year. How old is he, Dink?
I think he just turned 35 last month.
He is 35. My goodness. But 275, pretty good, strokes again.
Yeah, he's still swinging the bat well. I know he's not at the standards of what everybody thinks of him as they were a few years ago, but he still does a good job at first base and swings the bat well. As far as for next year, I don't know what he's going to do. I would find it hard to see him going somewhere else to play. I would say he'd either come back as a Twin for 1 year or just go ahead and retire.
His contract is up?
Yes, he's a free agent after this year.
Okay. Dink is with us for a few more minutes here on Talkin' Sports. Brian Dinkelman from Iowa, the Cedar Rapids Colonels hitting coach. The Cardinals, they're in the absolute meat of this playoff race, aren't they, Dink?
Yeah, they got their hands full right now. Every game matters for them right now with them and the Dodgers and Colorado. They're all fighting right there for that wild card. I think the division's a little bit a little too far away now to reach division in the Cubs, but they still got a chance at that wild card for sure.
Yeah, the American League is pretty much sold up. I mean, Oakland's within they're going to be in one way or another with the Yankees as one of the two wild cards, if nothing else. But the NL, there are some Cubs and Brewers, 2.5 separate them. Atlanta's pretty much home free. We've seen a lot of teams, not a lot, but there are collapses, but it's pretty much settled that Wild West there, the Dodgers and the Rockies. The Rockies have never won a division, so I kind of think the Dodgers are going to get that done this year, especially after watching them this weekend in St. Louis.
Yeah, they had a good weekend there in St. Louis, taking 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals. So, all 4 or 5 of those teams and that playing some meaningful baseball down here the last stretch of the season.
So what about you, Dink? Yes, 4 years as a Twins minor league coach, correct? And 3 at Cedar Rapids now.
Yeah, this is my just finished my 3rd year and 4th year overall coaching with the Twins, and got a couple days off here. We have to head down to Fort Myers next week for kind of a mini camp instructional league for our position players, doing some hitting and defensive work for 2 weeks. So got that coming up, and then after that, be done for the off season until spring training next year.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks of that. You didn't go down last year, I don't believe.
No, I didn't go last year. They kind of had the hurricane down there last year, kind of messed up the scheduling with it, so didn't make it down there for that, but they're having it this year. All
right. But you were part of a good staff again this year, including, let's see, Ron Gardenhire's son.
Yes, Toby. Toby was our manager. You know, I played with him for 3 or 4 years in minor leagues, and he got back in the Twin system 2 years ago as a coach, and this is his first year managing for us here at Cedar Rapids, and did a nice job. And you know, it was like we never left each other whenever we was playing together. So we had a good season, had a good time together.
That's good. That's pretty cool. And now, of course, Dink, maybe not until after you get back from the Sunshine State, but you'll sit down and talk to your agent, right, and discuss.
Yeah, my wife.
I like this. That's great. Keep it in the. I know you told me that last. Even this summer, I believe. I don't blame you a bit. Save that 5-10%, whatever it is. You can do it. But
that's right.
You're figuring on coming back to the Twins organization. I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Once this instruct is over and the big league season's over, then they kind of sit down and decide who they want next year as their staff members and where. So hopefully here in the next month or so we'll get that all squared away about next season.
Well, I hope you continue with the Twins, and because you could have a long career with them. And just as a side, I hope Joe Mauer comes back one more year myself with them. Otherwise, I wouldn't blame him if he called it quit. There's not enough guys that end up with the same club from start to finish anymore. Those are pretty special.
Yeah, that is pretty rare anymore to see guys go a whole career with them. So, yeah, it'd be nice to see him maybe play one more year with the Twins and kind of a farewell tour and finish in a Twins uniform.
Dink, appreciate your time. Say hello to the family, okay? And maybe we'll see you around Seatown over the winter or whatever. But we'll get with you and on for scores and stuff sometime late fall, early turn of the year or whatever. And then we'll talk baseball again next year a couple of times for sure.
Sounds good, Rip.
Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Brian Dinkelman of the Cedar Rapids Colonels of the Minnesota Twins organization. To top it all off, that was Dink. Coming up, Bobby Brenneisen and, of course, the Prep Athlete of the Week. Stay where you are.
If you're in need of a quality meat processing plant, there's just one place to turn: Trenton Processing. For nearly 50 years, this family-owned and operated business has served Clinton County and beyond. For good reason, too. Trenton Processing offers the very best in retail and wholesale products, custom butchering, deer processing, and plenty more, including specialty pet items. Trenton Processing at 120 West Broadway in Trenton, the home of Sugar Creek Smoked Meats.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Draghi, a general dentist from Breeze, Illinois, who sedates patients with pills. I treat a lot of patients who have not been to the dentist in 10 to 20 years. Most had a bad experience as a child. Others are embarrassed to go or are concerned the dentist will scold them. We know these feelings are real and believe in listening to your problems and concerns. I will do all of this without putting you down or making you feel guilty. My team and I want to make a difference in the way you feel about dentistry. Please call me, Dr. Tim Draghi, at 526-2020 to schedule an appointment, or look at our website at breezedentalcare.com, where sedation dentistry is an option for you to take care of your teeth without anxiety.
Are you looking for a happy dental home? Dr. Draghi and Dr. Santel are in-network providers with many insurance companies and have what you are looking for. New patients welcome and most emergencies seen immediately. Get back on the right track to good dental health with Breeze Dental Care. Call 526-2020. That's 526-2020. Moving forward requires taking that first step. And when it comes to your future, your first step should be Kaskaskia College. With more than 50 degrees and 100 certificate programs, Kaskaskia College can prepare you for a great career, your next promotion, or set you on your educational path. Life is too short to wait. Take your first step to success with Kaskaskia College. Learn more today. Call 545-3040 or kaskaskia.edu.
Do you mind if I turn on the radio?
The music is great and it doesn't cost anything.
It's Max 96.7.
Again, sports fans, we're up here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio for a Monday where the time is 6:40. That time drop shows up courtesy of Zirin Funeral Home in Carlisle. How about the athlete of the week?
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're the best.
The Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Body by Boyd in Carlisle. Your complete gym and physical fitness center is Body by Boyd. And by Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze, the choice for pizza, pasta, and more. Call 526-7040.
Our Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week is Carlisle Lady Indians volleyball standout Brooklyn Smith. She posted 39 kills and 28 digs in Saturday's Vandalia tournament, which Carlisle won. They beat Decatur, Eisenhower, Vandalia, Hillsboro, and Vandalia in the championship match. Brooklyn also had 14 kills and 14 digs against Westland Thursday. There was also Tuesday. She did all right. So Brooklyn Smith will take home a $10 gift certificate to Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze. Congrats to Brooklyn. In other Saturday volleyball action, right here on Max 96.7, by the way. Also Saturday, Mater Dei swept Central in the annual Breeze Smackdown, 25-16, 25-16. So a lot of net action going on, of course, as there is pretty much every Saturday. But congrats to Brooklyn. Straight away, we're coming back.
McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
Hi guys, this is Ed from Dine Chevrolet in Trenton. Do you need a new vehicle, but you run into some bumps on the credit road? I'm here to help you. I've been getting credit challenge drivers behind the wheel for several years. I have several lending sources, and I work hard to get the very best rate possible without jumping through a lot of hoops. Dine Chevrolet. Discover our service, our selection, and our great pricing. Call me, Special Ed, at 402-3304 or visit us at DianeForALoan.com to get started.
This broadcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports is brought to you by the Benoff Insurance Agency in Breeze and Trenton, HSHS St. Joseph Hospital, Breeze, Breeze Dental Care, K&J Chevrolet, Reverman Chiropractic and Spinal Rehabilitation and Breeze Motor Sales, Southern Bus and Mobility, Kaskaskia College, the First National Bank of Carlisle, Reekman Brothers John Deere, Southern OBGYN Associates, Med Plus Physical Medicine and Brett's Wildlife Lodge, State Farm Insurance Agent Steve Klosterman, Central Illinois Truck Service, Breeze Family Vision, Tempo Bank, Country Financial representatives Keith Wilkin and Teresa Richards, and by the Carlisle and Breeze Hardys. WCXO Sports, powered by the Union Banner at Union Banner on Facebook. Your sports teams, your community, your radio station.
Welcome to our music warehouse.
Lucky you're not the one who has to refile all these CDs.
Playing everything.
You've got Max 96.7.
Hey, Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart Studios. Just time to tell you this Wednesday night, here are two of our guests from the Wesco volleyball team, the head coach Becky Musso, and we're also going to dip into some soccer talk again with Carlisle Indians coach Zach Hills. We'll return with Bobby Brenneisen.
If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkin's because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Brawnability dealer in Breeze. Brawnability features the broadest lineup of wheelchair-accessible vehicles with more brands, entry types, features, and price points than any other manufacturer in the industry. See for yourself at Southern Bus and Mobility why a new or certified pre-owned wheelchair-accessible Brawnability vehicle is the only way to go. Call 526-4131 or stop by just east of Breeze on Old Route 50.
Farming is more than an occupation, it's a way of life. So when you want to protect your farm, it goes a lot deeper than protecting your crops, buildings, and machinery. You can't trust your farm protection to just anyone. You want an insurance company with decades of farm experience like Country Financial. We may have insured your parents' farm, even your grandparents' farm. Find out more about achieving financial security and farm insurance from me, Teresa Richards, or Keith Wilkin on Main Street in Breeze.
Hey, it's Bill on the road from Mornings with Scott and Casey. You hear me talking each week about travel, and one of my favorite things about driving across America is finding great food. And lucky for you, Mama's on the Hill in St. Louis is a super easy road trip destination. Authentic Italian favorites like baked lasagna, spaghetti, and tortellini, thin crust St. Louis-style pizza, and yes, Mama's on the Hill is the birthplace of toasted ravioli. Check out their menu online at mamasonthehill.com. Mama's on the Hill, on the Hill in St. Louis.
We tell you our music library contains an embarrassment of riches.
Except nothing embarrasses us.
Playing everything.
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back for one more try, everybody. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio. Let's tuck away the Johnson Jewelers guest line for Centralia Orphans football coach Bobby Brenneisen. Bobby, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going just fine. I just wish you were back under a bit better circumstances. You've had chances for a victory or two or more, including Friday at Carbondale, but you just came up shy down there in Seedale.
Yeah, it was a tough one, and, past couple of weeks have been pretty tough, with Jersey and Carbondale this week, and, hopefully we're able to bounce back come week 5 here in Southpaw.
Yeah, the Terriers shaded your Orphans 33-26. You wound up coming down to the final few seconds. It had a crazy finish, huh?
Yeah, haven't seen that quite before, with the botched victory snap, but, those are things that we got to really start trying to take advantage of that we haven't done yet. I think we've had 16 chances the past 2 weeks to win a ball game, and got to start capitalizing.
They're in victory formation and snapping, and that's why you never quit, isn't that right, Bobby? And just about any sport, the craziest things can happen. The good news is you got in a hole. That wasn't good, but you battled back from a 17-point deficit after 3 frames, so you poured it on.
Yeah, we did. We battled back, but now we need to start rewarding ourselves with hopefully some wins.
Yeah, you got to close. That is the real deal. You want those W's. So, but that was a positive. You were behind 21-3 at the break, and then your offense did take. What did Carbondale do to you defensively through the first 2 quarters?
Well, we kind of beat ourselves, in all honesty.
Was that the deal?
We ended up with about 7 or 8 penalties just on offense for about 50 or 60 yards. One of them calling a touchdown back, and I think it was 40-something odd yards in the first half we had total offensively, and then 320 in the second half. So we apparently just need to wake up getting off the bus.
So, yeah. So you had a TD called back. Those are tough to overcome sometimes, and it maybe proved to be the difference here.
Absolutely, and then offensively, not to mention just that, we had a fumble for scoop and score for them. So that's, 2 big plays, 14 points. That kind of turns this game around the other way.
And Carbondale right now, they're still unblemished, right, at 4 up and none down.
Correct. Yep, they're 4-0.
Okay, and your club is 0-1 in the South 7, 0-4 overall. We've got some more daylight ahead. That road game at Jerseyville, there was a cruncher, man. 21-14 in OT. What a huge lift! Not only it would have been your first victory of the year, but it really would have given you some momentum heading down to Carbondale.
Yeah, it would have liked to pull that one off, and that just comes with again, got to be able to finish, and we weren't able to. We had a dodge snap on our field goal attempt to win it, and again, another one. I think it was 8 chances we had to score and win, and we were already planning going for 2 for the win, and just couldn't punch it in. So
those snaps just aren't automatic, are they, Bobby?
No, not. No,
maybe they should be. You want them to be, I know,
yeah.
but yeah. Salem clipped you in the Shrine. Yorkville, they must be rather outstanding.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're 4-0 as well. Just beat a good Morris team this weekend. But,
Morris, okay.
Yeah, they're doing all right. We were looking. We had about as many playoff points this far as we had total last year. So. That tells you something about some of the teams we're playing.
Right, yeah, and when you bring up Morris, there we go. But hey, it's a difficult start. We want to see that change, of course, and it's not easy to deal with as a coach or as a player or as a fan, but because the program, the Orphans have done so well in recent years. But you did, and a lot of teams go through this. Most probably, you took a smack with graduation, though, didn't you? You lost some real players, some studs.
Yeah, I think we lost about 15.
15 total seniors?
Yeah, I believe so. And I think we got about 5 this year. And, we're a program currently, due to some circumstances as of recent, now we're down to about 36 players total, freshmen and seniors. So that's tough when you're a 5A school, but, I'm willing to, I know we're all that way. We're willing to coach those 36 that we got, definitely prepare them the best we can.
And you're filling in the gaps, and clue us in on your new quarterback. He's in. Of course, Javon Williams is down at SIU. What about Hayden Miner?
Yeah, it's Hayden and Davin. Tabor, the freshman. Davin's currently out right now. Hayden was able to step in again this week and do some good things for us. He was able to throw the ball around and make some big plays when need be, and was very proud of the way he played this weekend. Eliminated the interceptions, didn't turn it over in that regard, and just got to keep improving, and that's what we're really trying to do. And our big thing is we got to start finishing. It's one thing to put everything together, but we got to start finishing those drives and those quarters.
Well, you must have some guys who can make some catches. He spread around the other day to a half dozen receivers.
Yeah, I think Mason Blakemore had 5 catches. Mason's also playing some at running back for us. Jamie Long, Camden Woolbright, Marcus Isaiah, who we'll have back this week from concussion. Those are all guys. And then Crew Walker, again, a sophomore, was able to step up and make a huge play for us this past week at the wide receiver spot. He's not used to playing that. And he will make a big touchdown catch. And, we're all hands on deck. It doesn't matter whether you're a freshman or a senior, and we're just trying to fill in pieces of the puzzle.
You bet. And Davin, you say he's out right now?
Yes, he's out right now. He'll be back here in a couple of weeks.
What's the height and weight for, in particular, Hayden, your junior quarterback?
Hayden's about 6'2", I'd say, 175, 180. And then Davin's, Davin's, he may not be quite 6'2", but Davin's about 5'11". He might blow away in the wind, so I'd say about 135 pounds.
But Hayden did real well for you at the lower level last season?
Yeah, he was our underclass quarterback last year, and he just kind of had to step up into a big role this year, obviously. And he's also a receiver for us when Davin comes back, and he's done extremely well at that. It's nice knowing. I mean, he knew the offense as well as anybody, or knows it as well as anybody. kind of nice having that aspect as far as, being able to plug them in wherever we need them.
The offensive line, the defensive line play, has that been okay, steady, or you got to brush it up, pick up the stretch a little bit there?
Our D-line has been playing well. They have been. Our defense has been playing well. They've been forcing, I think they forced 5 or 6 turnovers this past week. I think they did the same against Salem. They've been forcing turnovers, and those are things that offensively we got to be able to start capitalizing on. You can't lose games when you're forcing that many turnovers, and that's just is explaining our ability not to be able to finish right now. Offensive line-wise is, we're needing to pick that aspect of it up. Obviously, those guys, we need to get to realize that we can't do anything without that front five. Doesn't matter what we try and do.
Have to have it. It really does all start and end there, doesn't it? I mean,
absolutely. You
got to have some time to get those passes off, running room, you name it. But they're still practicing hard for you, though, for you and the other coaches, right, Bobby?
No, yeah, there is no option. They can sit there and look at us on the sideline and put something in for them, but they're going to be looking a while. There's nobody else. We got 36, 37 dudes in our program. So, like I said, those are the guys that we're willing to coach, and those are the guys that are busting their tail every week or every day and every week, and we're just going to keep trying improving this thing and hopefully start churning out some W's.
You're most concerned with the 2018 version of the Orphans, of course, but it is pretty neat to see Javon Williams down at SIU. And anybody anywhere else for you, Bobby, in the college ranks?
Yeah, we have some older guys. Caleb Shipley's at McKendree, long snapping. Will Henniger is at Quincy University playing linebacker. Sean Reed from last year at McKendree playing linebacker. Let's see, you got Keyshawn Marshall and John Keeler that are both at Milliken playing. Ben Ally at McMurray, Peyton Long at Illinois. So we got a good amount of them that are playing and doing well, and that's definitely exciting to see.
Boy, you really do. You've got a couple more than I thought. So Keeler's playing as well, so that's good. And what have you heard from, not to signal him, but he's at the most noted program right now, Javon Williams, in his time. How's he liking it down at Carbondale?
No, he seems to be liking it. I think he's doing well, and I think his big thing is going to be getting a grasp of the offense, and obviously as the season progresses or the years progress, so I think he'll get a little bit more of an opportunity next year when the fifth-year senior graduates. But he's making the most of it, and he's doing well, I think.
What do we have for you, Bobby? Is this year number 3 as the head coach of the Orphans?
Yes, sir.
Number 3, and most of the staff back from last year's campaign?
Yep, they all are back.
They all are back, so the continuity is still there, and that is good.
Oh, yeah.
And now this Friday night, you're back at Seatown for the Althoff Crusaders. They did notch their first win over against Mount Vernon, and I know Mater Dei just whipped them the week before. Hard telling which way you're going to go there. I guess the program's a little sly from where it's been, but it's still Althoff, and it should shape up to be quite a battle, quite a rumble.
I hope so. It is. Like you said, it is Althoff, and I hope, if our guys need some extra encouragement to get going for this game, then I think we need to kind of check ourselves, because it's a big game, and it's homecoming, and usually get a few more folks out for that. And like you said, it's Althoff, so
that's right.
We should be ready.
Enough said right there. Plus, it will. If you bag this one, you're 1-1 in the conference. There's still plenty to play for there, and the entire season. This is game number 5. Nothing's over yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Bobby. Thanks a bunch. We'll talk to you later, and hopefully you're going to have some some check marks in that left column, that win column, when we gather you up another time.
Let's hope so.
All right, Bobby. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Bobby Brenneisen of the Centralia Football Orphans. Our thanks to Bobby and also to Brian Dinkelman Wednesday night. We'll chat with Wesleyan volleyball coach Becky Musso and from the Carlisle Indians soccer team head coach Zach Hills. That rounds up this baby. We'll see you Wednesday night between 6 and 7 on Talking Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin' Sports was powered by Anne Marie Tabin at First Bank in Breeze. Contact Anne Marie for your mortgage product needs. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. Trenton Processing. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. This broadcast was a presentation of WCXO Sports.